Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Koploff, and today I will be talking about a topic that comes up quite frequently in any business, organization, or place of work. When I think of ethics, the first thing that pops into my mind is deciding right from wrong, a set of values, beliefs, a sense of morality, but for an organization it can be so much more. It's not just about the beliefs, it's also about carefully designing an ethics program for your organization that fits your needs. So, I wanted to ask everybody, what does an ethical culture look like? Yes.
Diversity.
Diversity, yes, okay. Maybe just a great place to work. Everyone's treated fairly, treated well. I wanted to show this clip from The Office. Has a funny way of describing ethics. So this is called business ethics.
You are not going to get into trouble. You can say anything you want with total and complete immunity.
Oh, no.
Yeah, come on, anybody. Let it fly.
Okay, once in a while, I'll take a long lunch.
A siesta.
Time thief. Fire him.
Dwight, you've really never stolen any company time?
Never.
You are a thief of joy. Anybody else? Yeah.
Sometimes I download pirated music onto my work computer.
Who hasn't? Good. What else?
No, I'd like to hear more about that.
I once reported Oscar to the INS. Turns out he's clean, but I'm glad I did it.
Well, let's keep this party moving on.
I'll go. Have you guys ever met Bruce Myers, the Scranton rep for Hammermill?
Bruce.
Well, for the past 6 years, I've been sleeping with him in exchange for discounts on our supplies and Outback Steakhouse gift certificates.
Jackpot.
Meredith, that is serious. I mean, not only is that a conflict of interest, but there's also an exchange of goods.
Exchange of steak. Have you ever had sirloin steak, honey?
That's crazy. That is crazy talk. Meredith. The Marinator, sleeping with suppliers. Ooh. Wow. What time we got? You know what? That's a good place to end it. Right there. This, I think, was a great ethics seminar. She has given us a lot of wonderful things to think about. Right, what is wrong. Who's to say, really, in the end? I mean, because it is unknowable. But let's give her a round of applause. Holly, everybody. Holly. Get back to work.
Okay, so that's a funny way of looking at ethics. Obviously, we all know this is not what ethics all entails. I next wanted to transition into talking about how ethics can actually improve your organization. So according to the most widely used measure of ethical workplace culture, the stock price growth of the 100 firms with the most ethical cultures outperformed stock market and peer indices by almost 300%. That's bright. Good ethics equals good business. Simple as that. The ethics of a firm's culture plays a significant role in creating and sustaining value. An ethical culture can have a higher employee satisfaction and lower turnover. It can also have increased legal compliance and rule following, increased organizational commitment as well. So let's get down to what exactly is an ethical culture. What does it entail? So an ethical culture is the personality of an organization. It's where the values reveal themselves through behaviors, attitudes, and decisions. It promotes tolerance, compassion, loyalty, and honesty, and the treatment of employees and customers. It's also an environment where it makes it easy to do the right thing and difficult to do the wrong thing. Creating an ethical culture starts by creating a code of ethics for your organization because you need it written down somewhere. So creating a code of ethics. Code of ethics puts the organization's standards, rules, and regulations into writing. Codes are designed to raise ethical expectations, legitimize dialogue about ethical issues, encourage ethical decision-making, and prevent misconduct and provide a bias for enforcement. Codes encourage ethical decision making as well, and codes should include values that are the most important to the company. So think about what you want your company to stand for. The key elements of a code of ethics are the principle, that's the driving force behind this code of ethics, the motivation, the statement of intent for the code of ethics, guidelines and rules, those are your actual set of rules that you want to enforce for the organization, and a list of examples so people can refer to them when deciding what to do in the case of an ethical dilemma. So next, we have ethics training. This is the way that you can make sure that the code of ethics are being put to use. It applies to everyone's day-to-day work. And ways to conduct ethics training, you can make sure you make the training very frequent. You want to make sure that you have regular training sessions, and you want to make the content very specific. You also want to make the conversation go both ways. So not only are you training, but you are also hearing what everyone has to say. Try to make the training also interactive and fun. No one wants to sit through a boring training seminar about ethics. Let people tell stories. Let people hear from others, what they would do, what they think. It's also really important to have leaders in any upper management conduct these training seminars. It makes them seem like they care about ethics, and they're also role modeling the desired behavior, making it very clear that it is important to them and it should be important to them too. So the next step of creating an ethical culture, you have to have a good communication plan. So a communication plan, if people don't feel heard or comfortable talking about ethics with their superiors or even their coworkers, an ethical culture is not very sustainable if you can't talk about it. So it's important to maybe have an ethics hotline that people can call when they are faced with an ethical dilemma, or they have any sense of, wanting to report unethical behavior. And ensure everyone that the hotline is anonymous, so no one can be afraid of, getting outed by their coworkers. It can also be helpful to send out regular newsletters and hold staff meetings that focus on ethics. Try to get everyone involved and maybe even share stories of values in action. Maybe something someone did that was good, or, ways their company is showing that they have great ethical culture. Discuss recent cases of ethical issues and dilemmas faced by the organization and talk about how they were resolved. This is also very important. It's also important to encourage openness and honesty about ethics. You want to seem very transparent, like you're always there to talk, and also reward exceptional behavior publicly as well. So I have an exercise I wanted everyone to perform. If you could just answer all the questions honestly and then talk with your seatmate, maybe find some similarities in that. Okay, thanks. So some conclusions about creating an ethical culture. So creating an ethical culture is not just about beliefs, it's also about a carefully designed program for your organization. Ethical culture is the personality of your organization, and that is a very important thing to remember. This is where the values reveal themselves through behaviors, attitudes, and decisions that everybody makes. Codes of ethics are designed to raise ethical expectations, legitimize dialogue about ethics, encourage ethical decision-making, and prevent misconduct. Frequent ethics training is very important to make sure that the code of ethics is being put to good use and applied to everyone's day-to-day life, and making sure that it's not just some code that you have to sign when you get hired at the job. Having an ethics communication plan helps to create an environment of transparency. Everyone wants to be able to talk with one another about ethics openly and honestly, no fear of being reprimanded. So it's very important to have all of these components when creating ethical culture. Thank you very much for listening, and you'll have a great day.